Hello students, today we will discuss about the product of two vectors. There is two types of product of a vector, one is scalar product and one is vector product. All of you know about the theory related to product of two vectors, but here we will describe the problem related to product of two vectors type by types. Now say type 1. You have to calculate the angle between two vectors. You have to calculate angle between two vectors. Now say A is this vector and B is this vector. A and B, angle between them is theta. You know A dot B equals to magnitude of A and magnitude of B and cos theta. Then cos theta equals to A dot B divided by A magnitude of A and magnitude of B. Now say you have two vectors, then you can calculate magnitude of A and magnitude of B, and you also calculate the dot product of two vectors. Then cos theta will be calculated, then theta will be calculated. Now say one example. A vector is equals to 2i cap plus 2j cap minus k cap. B vectors equals to 6i cap minus 3j cap plus 2k cap. Find out the angle between them. Find out the angle between them. Here is this theory. There this is theory. Through this theory, you can calculate the angle between them. Now cos theta equals to A dot B, that divided by magnitude of A and magnitude of B. First of all, you have to know the dot product between two vectors, two position vectors. Here what is I, what is J and what is k cap. That means this is the x-axis, this is y-axis and this is z-axis. The unit vector along the x-axis is called I cap. The unit vector along the y direction is j cap, and the unit vector along the z-axis is k cap. Here I dot I, the angle between I with I is 0, that means cos 0 1, that will be 1, and j dot equals to 1. Similarly k dot equals to 1, but I dot j equals to 0 because the theta between I and j equal to 90 degree, that means cos 90 equal to 0. J dot k equals to 0. That means the same vectors, dot product of same vectors will be, unit vector will be 1. Through this rule we can calculate the dot product of two vectors. That means 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 12 plus 2 minus 3 multiplied by minus 6. Here minus 2. Here magnitude of A, that means 2 square plus 2 square plus minus of 1 square into magnitude of B, that means 6 square plus minus 3 square minus 3 square and plus 2 square. That means cos theta equals to 4 12 minus 8, that means 4, and here 4 4 1, that means 8 9 root, here for 36 9 4, 36 9 and 4, that means 49, here 49. That means 4 divided by 3 into 7, that means 4 by 21. That means theta equals to cos inverse 4 by 21. This is the process how you can calculate the angle between two vectors. Number 2, you have to calculate angle between two vectors with the help of definition of two product. Then A dot B equals to 0 and A cross C equals to 0. Find out the angle between B and C, B and C vectors. This angle can be deducted through the definition of the two product. Here A dot B equals to 0. That means magnitude of A and magnitude of B cos theta equals to 0. That means theta equals to 90 degree. That means this a B vector and this is a vector. From the definition of A dot B equals to 0. Here A cross C equals to 0. That means magnitude of A and magnitude of B into sine into sine psi and another angle. That means C, this is a C vector, this is a vector, and angle between them is psi equals to 0. That means sine psi equal to 0. That means psi equals to 0. That means A and C are parallel. That means A vectors parallel to C vectors. That means here A vector is along this line and C vector will be along this line. That means angle between B and C will be 90 degree. That means angle between B vector and C vector will be 90 degree. This is this type 1. Next we will describe the type 2. Describe the type 2. What is type 2? That means A vector equals to A vector equals to A I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap, and B vector equals to 2a I cap plus a j cap minus 4k cap. This is the two vectors. For what value of a? For what value of a? Vector a and b will be perpendicular to each other. This is the type 1, and another type is a vector equals to 6 I cap plus a j cap minus k cap, and b vector is 5 I cap plus minus 6 j cap and minus b k cap. For what value of a and b, vector a and vector b will be parallel to each other. This is the type 2 problem. You have to calculate the value of a, and here the value of a and b. That means these two vectors will be perpendicular to each other, and these two vectors will be parallel to each other. You have to think about it. The two product, one is dot product and one is cross product. That means cross product. Here perpendicular to each other. That means theta equals to 90 degrees. That means the angle between a vector and b vector equals to 90 degrees. That means a dot b equals to 0, because theta equals to 90 degree, cos 90 equal to 0, because cos 90 is equal to 0. That's why a dot b equal to 0. Here a dot b, you can calculate a dot b. That means a into 2a I dot I, 2a square. Here minus 2a multiplied by a, 2a. Here minus 4 equals to 0. That means a square minus a minus 2 equals to 0. Here 2 is common. Then a square minus a minus 2 equal to 0. You can easily determine the value of a. Minus 2a plus a minus 2 equal to 0. That means a minus 2 into a plus 1 equals to 0. That means a equals to 2 and a equals to minus 1. This is the answer. For what value of a, these two vectors will be perpendicular to each other. That means a equals to 2 and a equals to minus 1. For these two values, a vector and b vector will be perpendicular to each other. Here the two vectors will be parallel to each other. Parallel means the angle between them equal to 0 degree. That means sine 0 equals to 0. That's why you have to cross product. This vector will be a cross product. That means a cross b equals to 0. That means you have to calculate a cross product. That means here we will calculate the cross product. Here a cross b, that means I cap, j cap, k cap. This cross product must be a 0. Here 6 a minus 1, 5 minus 6 minus b. First I cap bracket, this is multiplied minus ab minus 6 plus this multiplied minus this multiplied. Here j cap, here minus 5 plus 6b, here minus j cap, and that means 5 minus 5, here minus plus 6b, here k cap minus 36 into minus 5a equals to 0. That means minus a minus ab minus 6 equal to 0, and 5 minus 5 plus 6b equate both sides. That means this must be a 0, this must be a 0, and this must be a 0. That means 0. This implies b equals to 5 by 6. This is the value of b. And here minus 36 minus 5a equals to 0. This implies a equals to minus 36 by 5. This is the value of a. For these two values a and b, these two vectors will be parallel to each other. This is the type 2 problem. Here is type 3. Type 3. Type 3, you have to calculate direction cosine. What is direction cosine? Here the three-dimensional axis. Here is x-axis, here is y-axis, here is z-axis. A position vector is represented by r, that means p point, x, y and z. That means r position vector can be written as x I cap plus y j cap and z k cap. You have to calculate the angle between x-axis with this position vector is alpha. The angle with this y-axis is beta. The angle with z-axis is gamma. You can easily calculate cos alpha equals to x divided by magnitude of r. Cos beta equals to y divided by magnitude of r, and cos gamma equals to z divided by r, magnitude of r. This is called direction cosine. This is called direction cosine. If you asks that the angle between x-axis with this position vector. What is the angle with the x-axis, with the y-axis, and with the z-axis? That means alpha can be written as cos inverse x by magnitude of r, and beta can be written as cos inverse y by magnitude of r, and gamma can be written as cos inverse z by magnitude of r. And these two types of problem can be calculated. Here one example, you can use one example. Here a vector equals to 3i cap plus 4j cap plus 1k cap 2k cap. That means magnitude of a equals to 9 plus 16 plus 4. That means 3 square equals to 9, 4 square equals to 16, and 2 square equals to 4. That means root over 29. You have to calculate the direction cosine. You have to calculate direction cosine. Direction cosine means cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma. What is alpha, beta, and gamma? The angle with x-axis is alpha, with y-axis is beta, and with z-axis is gamma. With this formula, with the help of this formula, we can easily deduct it. That means 3 divided by 29 root 29, here 4 divided by 29, here 2 divided by 29. This is called direction cosine. This is called direction cosine. Here the angle with the x-axis will be alpha. That means alpha equals to cos inverse 3 by root 29, and angle with the y-axis will be cos inverse 4 by root 29, and gamma equals to cos inverse root over 2 divided by root 9. This is the angle between the three axes of with the vectors.